Alright, so first up in our series of callings is Calling of Aggression. So, life in the realm of Guy and Enoch is hard. The ever-present threat of death looms over the people of Enoch like an executioner's axe. There are some, however, who choose not to wait for it, but to go out and meet it headlong. Those who are called to aggression choose action over restraint. They choose to meet the challenges of a dangerous and deadly world head-on, moving ever forward in spite of the peril. The core aspect of Calling of Aggression is Might, which grants a bonus to Strength and Willpower rating. In terms of combat, Might is really ideally suited for heavy melee, with things like Crush and Pummel, which adds a stun effect, Batter, which disables your opponent's weapons, Pound, which allows you to take a brawling attack against enemies that move into or out of melee combat. When it comes to social enhancements and evocations, which Might is heavy on enhancements, it's going to give you things that go right along with that aggressive theme, like Bold Impressions, which grants a +2 bonus to Charm and Command dice pools, Unnerving Visage, Glare, which gives you a +1 die to Intimidation rolls, and then Brute, which gives you +2 dice to strength-based rolls when you're attempting to push, pull, or carry a very heavy object. So the passive bonuses in Might are pretty simple and straightforward. Vicious Strikes is going to give you a +2 your melee damage, and Bulked Up is going to allow you to wield a larger weapon by increasing your Vigor rating. So there you have it, Calling of Aggression, simple and easy. Okay, next up is Calling of Honor, and this one is what you would narratively think of as a little bit more traditionally heroic. Rising above the chaos and destruction, there are those who would bring order back to a world in ruin. They lend their strength to the huddled masses, helping to rebuild all that was lost. Those who are called to honor stand as an inspiration to those around them. Leading by example, they set their fear aside. Standing on the front lines, they do what others cannot. Risking their lives, they strive to give others courage, to bring hope back to a world in desperate need. The core aspect of Calling of Honor is Mastery, which provides a bonus to Stamina and Wisdom rating. So when it comes to action on the battlefield, Mastery is very aggressively defensive. So you're not just going to be able to stand in there and take it, you're going to be able to dish it back out too. Blunt increases your armor rating, whereas Charge allows you to move quickly across the battlefield. Shield Slam takes the place of your block action, allowing you to strike back enemies, and Thrust Kick is a secondary enhancement that adds a knockback to a brawling attack. So Mastery also features 4 social enhancements, from Well-Spoken and Forceful Edicts, which increase your etiquette and command skill, to Alertness, which grants you a bonus to your awareness skill, to Expert Smith, which gives you a bonus when you are using your metallurgy skill to, do things like repair armor and weapons. The passive bonuses granted by Mastery go right along with that theme of being, aggressively defensive. Armor Mastery increases your armor rating, allowing you to soak more damage, and Shield Mastery grants a bonus when you are using your shields to either attack or defend yourself. So that's Calling of Honor. Be sure to let us know if you have any questions. Next up, we have Calling of Instinct, and this one has a bit of a different flair to it. Across all of Enoch, the War of Ashes ravaged every facet of civilization. Cities lie in ruin, feral monstrosities stalk the countryside. Everywhere, the wilderness seeks to reclaim the land. Those who are called to instinct stand unafraid of the harsh and untamed wilds. They stalk the savage wilderness with cautious reverence. Those who are called to instinct seek to rise to the top of the natural order. The core aspect of Calling of Instinct is precision. which grants a bonus to dexterity and intellect. Precision grants a character a lot of mobility, survivability, and proficiency with ranged attacks when it comes to physical combat. That can range from Snapshot, which allows for a free ranged attack, Multi-Shot, which allows them to launch several ranged attacks at the same time, Wing Clip, which can immobilize enemies, and Release, which can allow them to escape from their enemies. So outside of combat, Precision has a lot of utility, from Hot Tongue, which gives them a bonus to contested talent skill rolls, Precise Calculator, which gives a bonus to Alchemy, Ecology, and Engineering skill, Meticulous Words, which gives them a bonus to Guile, Manipulation, and Negotiation, and Exacting Motions, which allows them to ignore penalties when using their dexterity. So the passive bonuses from Precision go right along with that idea of ranged attacks, mobility, and survivability. Precision Targeting grants a bonus to ranged attack actions, where Quickened Pace grants the character increased movement rate and allows them to take a second move action for less action cost. Alright, and that is Calling of Instinct. Fast, deadly, and rugged. Our fourth calling option is another one that's classically heroic, and that would be Calling of Piety. Faced with a world of wickedness and suffering, of selfishness and cruelty, there are some who choose the road of compassion and kindness. They choose to give comfort to those in need, to become a beacon of light in the darkness. Those who are called to piety have a heart that is full of compassion. They feel the suffering of others and they choose to ease their agony. They choose to bring hope back to the people of Eden. The core aspect of Calling of Piety is Sanctity, which grants a bonus to Wisdom and Stamina. So as an aspect, Sanctity is heavy on evocations, beginning with Nurture and Assuage, which restore Corpus. Nurture provides a damage shield, where Assuage removes harmful mental conditions. But don't mistake kindness for weakness here, because Sanctity provides Consecrate, which does area effect radiant damage, as well as Smite, which adds a single target radiant attack. So when it comes to social evocations and enhancements, which Sanctity is split right down the middle, two evocations, two enhancements, you have Compassion, which eases the suffering of others. You have Patience, which allows you to use your empathy to understand people speaking other languages that you don't necessarily understand. It gives you Kindness, which prevents corpses from coming back as dust creatures, which is kind of handy. And Reverence, which gives you a plus to your command skill. So the passive bonuses in Sanctity go right along with that theme of compassion and kindness. You get Lightbringer, which gives you a bonus to your restorative evocations, such as Nurture and Assuage. It also gives you a bonus to your shadow resistance, so that would make you less susceptible to shadow-based attacks. It also allows your awareness skill to function across the penumbra, so you can sense spirit creatures in your presence. So that's Calling of Piety. And again, don't mistake kindness for weakness here. Our fifth calling choice is Calling of Profanity. And here we're going to push the envelope a little bit, and we're going to really find out, what does it mean to be a hero? The sway of darkness is a powerful force. Mortals are easily lured by wealth and power. The chance for dominion over others tempts their hearts, leading them down the road to damnation. Those who are called to profanity choose not to battle their inner darkness. Instead, they choose to embrace their base desires, gaining power from their passions. They spurn the temptations of wickedness, knowing that their own command of their inner darkness is all that they need. The core aspect of Calling of Profanity is Sacrilege, which grants a bonus to Persona and Agility ratings. So Sacrilege features a lot of shadow-based effects, particularly Cruelty, which causes shadow damage, Agony, which causes shadow damage over time, Torment, which causes a blind and deafen effect, and Anguish, which adds a despair effect, causing the enemy to become unable to act. So thematically, the role-playing enhancements and evocations in Sacrilege go right along with that theme. You have Callousness, which gives you a bonus when countering Charm, Command, or Empathy. You have Heartbreak, which allows you to downgrade the effect of an NPC's dice pool roll. Temptation, which grants you a bonus to using your manipulation skill. And then Provocation, which causes your enemies to take a dice pool penalty due to their own inner. The passive bonuses in Sacrilege go right along with that theme. Vengeance is going to give you shadow resistance. It's also going to make your shadow-based evocations do more damage after you take damage. You're also going to get Ire, which is going to use your anger to give you a bonus to your next dice pool roll after you fail at a dice pool roll. And that is Calling of Profanity. And again, we're pushing the envelope here, and we're going to really explore, what it means to actually be a hero. So next up we have Calling of Reason, and this one is a little bit more fun. It's got more of a traditional edge to it. The Asura are as cunning as they are wicked. When they set out to conquer Enoch, the first to feel their wrath were the scholars and the intellectuals, those with the mind to oppose them. Their goal was simple: to destroy all the knowledge it had taken millennia to build. Those who are called to reason have an inquisitive mind that seeks knowledge. They work to unravel the mysteries of the world, longing to rediscover all the knowledge that's been lost, aspiring to achieve a golden age of understanding. The core aspect of Calling of Reason is erudition, which grants a bonus to intellect and dexterity. So erudition deals with the arcane forces of the world, and that's the force of pure energy. And that's going to manifest itself in things like Kinetic Blast, which causes arcane damage and has a knockback effect. Arcane Orbs, which summons pockets of arcane energy that will defend you. Phase, which allows you to become insubstantial and take a move action through occupied space. And Hold, which allows you to basically cement an enemy in place and prevent them from moving. So in terms of role-playing enhancements and evocations in erudition, they're going to be split right down the middle, 2 and 2. You're going to get Telekinesis, which allows you to move objects with your mind. Illuminate, which allows you to create a floating ball of light that follows you around. Discern, which allows you to know the difficulty of a roll before you take it, which is actually super handy. And you're going to get Encumber, which allows you to amplify the force of gravity on an enemy. Okay, so the passive bonuses in erudition go right along with that theme. You're going to get Adept Learner, which grants you a bonus to your next erudition evocation after successfully using one. And you're going to get Arcane Scholar, which gives you a phantom die in each of your knowledge skills. So that is Calling of Reason, which, has a very wizardly feel to it in a role-playing game sort of sense. Next up is Calling of Synergy, and this one's got some energy to it. The world ebbs and flows, fueled by the mysterious power of the elements. Chaotic and untamed, their intensity is dangerous for those who fail to respect their raw power. Those who are called to synergy are drawn to the captivating beauty of the elements. Enraptured by their power, those who are called to synergy weave the might of the elements into the landscape, giving back raw energy and vibrance to a decaying and stagnant world. The core aspect of Calling of Synergy is Effusion, which grants a bonus to strength and willpower rating. So Effusion manifests as control over the energetic elements. You're going to get Scorch, which summons a column of flame, which damages your enemy. Cauterize, which is a healing effect. You use the power of elemental fire to heal an ally. Shock, which is a medium-ranged lightning attack. And then Storm Shield, which is a defensive evocation, which increases your defensive rating and causes enemies who attack you to take lightning damage. So the role-playing evocations and enhancements in Effusion go right along with that theme of the energetic elements. You get Flamekeeper, which allows you to either increase or reduce, the size of an open flame. Cremate, which allows you to use elemental fire to dispose of corpses, which is really a handy thing to do so they don't come back. Charged Senses, which allows you to use electrical impulses to sense hidden enemies. And Wind's Grace, which gives you a bonus to your athletic skill rolls when you're attempting to balance, tumble, or jump. The passive bonuses in Effusion go right along with that theme. Elemental Initiate grants you elemental resistance, so you take less damage from things like fire and lightning. And then Warmth, which causes you to take less damage from exposure to heat and cold, because, you have power over the elements. And that is Calling of Synergy, which again is a lot of fun. I mean, who doesn't want to control fire and lightning? And the last of our 8 calling choices is Calling of Valor, which most definitely falls into the realm of what you might think of as traditionally heroic. The New World is a frightening place, rife with horrid monstrosities that haunt the dreams of mortals. Survivors huddle together, afraid of what stalks the darkness. There are those, however, who are undaunted by the challenges of the New World. Those who yearn for a life of glory, who dream of having tales told of their deeds, of having songs sung in their name. Those who are called to valor strive to live the life of an epic hero. They choose to risk death so that they may be forever immortalized as a paragon of bravery and renown. Core aspect of Calling of Valor is Expertise, which provides a bonus to agility and persona rating. So Expertise is really, it's martially focused when it comes to combat, but it's about style and flair. You get Sweeping Strike, which allows you to hit multiple enemies with a single attack. You get Feign, which allows you to, pretend that you're going to attack and apply a dice pool penalty to your enemies. Heart Strike, which is a single target attack, which does, really high melee damage. And then you get Exposed, which allows you to attack the enemy's armor, lowering their armor rating. So the role-playing enhancements that are provided by Expertise go right along with that heroic flair. Nimble Hands allows you to substitute your agility in place of dexterity when making knowledge-based skill rolls. Sleight allows you to gain a bonus when using Guile for sleight of hand. Confident Grip gives you a bonus to your athletics roll when executing like a climb action. And Agile Senses allows you to ignore some darkness penalties. And the passive bonuses in Expertise go right along with that heroic flair. You get Flowing Weapons, which allows you to substitute your agility rating in place of dexterity when executing martial weapon attacks and when parrying. And then you get Quick Draw, which makes your weapon always considered equipped, even in a surprise situation. So there you have it, Calling of Valor, the 8th and final calling in the core rules. So we've taken a look at the 8 calling choices, and now it's time to choose one for our character. So looking at our character sheet so far, and going back to our concept of the former soldier, soft spot for the downtrodden, I think there's 2 real choices here. When we examine the attributes that we chose and the skills that we've selected, I think either Calling of Honor or Calling of Valor seem appropriate for this character. So in this case, I think that Calling of Honor is the best choice for this particular character. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the attribute bonus, so +1 to stamina, that makes that 4, and +1 to wisdom, so that gets me up to, a decent 2, so at least I'm average. And then I'm going to fill in the enhancements and evocations that go right along with Mastery. So the next thing I'm going to do is choose the first ordinal of my sanction, and I'm going to go ahead and choose Vigilant Honor. So that allows my Shield Slam to be used once per turn as a free action, which I'm going to do that a lot. And then it increases my alertness enhancement by +1. So my awareness skill will be 1 point higher. So we've chosen a calling for Brevin Iron Fist that goes right along with the concept. Next up, we are going to choose an apotheos for our character.